Good evening, everyone, and welcome to R5's production of Honky Tonk Queen. My name is Rob Rosiello. I am the playwright of this evening's show and the director of tonight's show. So thank you for joining us, whether you're joining us live or if you're listening to this down the road. This production marks the 4th anniversary of R5 Productions. So a little bit about R5 before we get started. It was started in the summer of 2020 as a direct result of the pandemic. Our first show was The Time Machine by H.G. Wells, and it aired on July 20th and 22nd of 2020. So we're just a couple days shy of our 4th anniversary. Honky Tonk Queen is not only my favorite one act that I've written, but it also was recently published in an online arts journal. So we thought, what better way to celebrate this production that has been now published, performed several times over the past few years, than for R5 to do the radio version of it. So R5's mission statement during the pandemic was to be able to give artists, actors, directors, and even playwrights the chance to still practice their art, even while there was the great shutdown, or as I like to call it, the great pause of live performance. So Jim McIntosh, Nancy Ridgway, and I got together. We called a lot of our theater friends who, like us, weren't doing anything. And we decided to create this online performance company. And we quickly realized that because Zoom was brand new and still evolving, that the best way to do it for consistency and a nod back to days of old was to do it in a radio format. So in our first season from July of 2020 through May of 2021, we did 8 different shows. Some were established plays like War of the Worlds, Time Machine, God of Carnage, Rabbit Hole, Other Desert Cities. I also had a couple of my original works in the mix, Vernal Rights and Priceless. So over the years, we've done a mix of original work and new work. We'll talk a little bit more about that in the talk back afterwards, which we will have with our artistic director, Nancy Ridgway, our technical director, Jim McIntosh, myself, and the 2 ladies who share the title role of Honky Tonk Queen, who originated these roles in 2018. They did a stage version in Philadelphia at Old Academy Players, and they originated these roles there. And now I'm lucky enough to have them back 6 years later to reprise their roles. So it is great pleasure and true honor that I introduce to you our Honky Tonk Queens for the night, Jillian Swan and Tori Vogt. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
a shot of Cuervo, no salt, a draft beer of whatever ain't flat, and a shot of Sambuca. Disgusting.
Do not touch the bar. I spent the past 2 hours on this house of cards. Oh, Damn it, Jenny Lynn.
That world record you keep chasing ain't gonna happen. That record holder lives in Dallas, and his house of cards was 25 feet tall.
A gal can dream, can't she?
Ain't never gonna happen.
And where's Noble? Ain't he tending bar up front?
The front bar's out of tequila, and the beer is coming out flat up there.
Tell him to lock the doors.
It ain't closing time yet.
These your only customers?
All night.
It's closing time.
Last call at the Red Caboose. Who'd have thought?
I don't want to talk about it. Who's the tequila for? I only see one guy out there in the front bar.
Well, the beer's for Noble.
And the tequila?
The Sambuca is for the guy at the bar.
And the Cuervo?
What happened to my shift drink? When Lyle was here, he used to give me free shots all the time.
Oh, and you wonder why I had to sell the place.
You didn't have to sell the place, Dee Dee.
I didn't have to live out of my car, neither.
Where's my shot?
But it was coming to that if I held on.
You got change for a 50?
You're kidding me, right?
Noble said you didn't give him a bank tonight.
Oh, shit. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 20, 40, 50.
You know what I think is a good idea?
You ain't getting a shot of tequila from me. You get crazy wild on that nonsense.
Like you and Wild Turkey?
Give that man his change so we can close up.
I never thought you'd be in a hurry to close up.
We ain't closing up. We're closing down. There's a difference.
You know what else is a good idea? You giving me those boots sitting up there behind the bar.
Over my cold, dead, twitching body.
Oh, I can arrange that, you know. We ain't done here yet.
Come to mama, you pretty little things.
If and you fall climbing up on that bar, I get the boots.
Jenny Lynn Hopper, I will kick your ass from here to Tallahassee if you make me fall off this bar.
I want those boots.
Do you know who wore these boots?
They belonged to my granddaddy.
They did not. These are ladies' boots.
He was tending the bar the night you left him here. He found them fair and square.
Well, my granddaddy owned the bar when he found them, so they belonged to me.
Finders keepers.
And losers weepers. And your granddaddy lost them in a bar bet with my granddaddy the night he found them, so they belong to the Red Caboose. And what is left to the Red Caboose belongs to me. Besides, they probably don't even fit you.
Oh, I bet you they do.
Bet you they don't.
Bet you they do.
Girl, if I find out you tried to put those big old feet of yours into these boots and stretched them out.
You'll do what?
These boots belonged to Miss Patsy Cline. They're sacred.
If I can prove that these boots will fit, can I have them?
Maybe. Oh, what in the world? Oh, put your boots back on, Missy. I told you, you ain't gonna try them on. Oh, good Lord, woman. When was the last time you washed those feet of yours?
Look, inside my boot, right here.
I can't see. My eyes are watering.
I am a size 9, ladies.
Big old floppy feet, like a clown.
Now you look inside those boots. You tell me what size it says.
I can't read nothing. The size is worn out.
Oh, look inside the right boot. It says it right there, a 9. Patsy Cline wore a size 9. Those boots are a size 9. And as you can see from the boot I just took off my very own feet, I wear a size 9. So those should belong to me fair and square. Thank you very much.
You can't wear them.
I ain't stupid. Of course I ain't gonna wear them.
Then what do you want with them?
Well, I want something to remember this place. You know, when it's gone.
Take one of the signs off the wall if you want something.
It ain't the same. I want something real. I grew up in this place.
I did too. And so did my daddy and my daddy's daddy. Don't you think I want something special to remember it by?
Come on, Dee Dee. Please?
On two conditions.
Yeah?
Promise you'll never wear them.
I swear, cross my heart and hope to die. What else?
I want you to earn them.
Earn them.
Yeah, earn them.
How?
I want you to sing for them.
Oh, there ain't no way.
On that stage right there.
There ain't no music.
I want you to sing for them.
But that is the stage that. But Patsy Cline sang on that stage.
Yeah, and she used that bathroom to pee and get changed in, and you ain't got no problem using it yourself.
There ain't no need to be nasty. We're talking about Patsy Cline here.
Then do her the honor and get up on that stage and sing.
You best not be lying, Dee Dee Calhoun, or I will kick your Indian given butt.
Now, even I know you ain't supposed to be saying that kind of stuff no more.
Oh, well, what do you know? Dee Dee Calhoun's gone politically correct. It really is the end of an era.
Get on up there, songbird.
What are you doing with the lights?
I'm setting the stage for you.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Ladies and gentlemen, on this, the closing night of the Red Caboose Hotel and Casino,
When was this a hotel?
when there used to be a second floor,
And when was it a casino?
when there used to be a basement,
I never knew that.
it was before your time.
Oh, everything was before my time.
Would you shut up and let me finish? Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pleasure we introduce to you the final act of the evening,
The final act ever.
the closing act on this, our closing night of the Red Caboose Hotel and Casino, making her debut performance here at the Red Caboose before heading off to Nashville.
Who told you that?
A little bird.
I am gonna kill that noble when I get my hands on him.
Making her pre-Nashville debut, blessing Mississippi's very own Jennifer Lynn Hopper.
Jenny Lynn Hope. That is gonna be my stage name in Nashville. Jenny Lynn Hope.
Making her pre-Nashville debut, blessing Mississippi's very own Jenny Lynn Hope, singing. What are you singing?
Crazy. And I'd like to dedicate it to Miss Patsy Cline.
No, you ain't.
Says who?
Says me. It's too easy. You need to pick something else.
Loretta Lynn.
Nope.
Tammy Wynette.
If you ain't gonna be serious, I'm just gonna pull up these lights and call it a night.
Well, what do you want me to sing?
What about one of them songs that your brother wrote for you?
I need music.
You can sing without music. I hear you doing it all the time.
But this ain't the same.
You want those boots?
Damn it, Dee Dee.
Oh, watch that mouth, Missy. You're on the stage where Patsy Cline sang.
Honky Tonk Queen.
What?
Honky Tonk Queen.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce to you Miss Jenny Lynn Hope, debuting her new song, Honky Tonk Queen.
My bags are packed and I got no tears to cry. No hugs or loving or kissing you goodbye. Your princess is a-going, the last you ever seen. Now I'm a honky-tonk queen. The heart that I gave you, it's now broken in two. What made you so ornery and mean? Your princess is a-going, the last you ever seen. Now I'm a honky-tonk queen. And now this would be the part where I would sway to the music and change hands with the microphone. Maybe I'd brush my hair back and wipe a tear from my eye so the crowd would know the song might just be about me. Well, 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 what do you know? Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from the front bar at the legendary Red Caboose Hotel and Casino, Mr. Noble Black. And I hope she can give you the love I thought we knew. I was your honky tonk princess, all tried and true blue. How can it be that if you found somebody new, my hopes and dreams were all wrapped up in you? The heart that I gave you, it's now broken in two. What made you so ornery and mean? Your princess is a-going, the last you ever seen. Now I'm a honky tonk queen. Now I'm a honky tonk queen.
Woo-hoo-hoo! Yeah, that was terrible.
Noble Black, you shut your mouth.
You got any customers?
No, ma'am.
Go on, lock up. Go on.
Terrible, I tell you. Carrie Underwood, she can sure sleep well tonight.
Get out of here before I kick your scrawny butt again. Well,
should have had to sing Patsy Cline.
You promised me those boots.
Get up here on this bar. Come on now.
I thought you said.
I ain't gonna ask you twice.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, good Lord, girl. Some soap and water on these feet wouldn't have killed you. Oh. Huh. They sure do fit you. Just like Cinderella.
A honky tonk Cinderella.
I'm gonna miss you.
I'll be back.
Just don't go leaving your boots in any honky tonk bathroom.
Yeah, I promise.
I love you, baby girl.
I love you too, Mama.
Hey, everybody. This is Nancy Ridgway, and I'll ask the cast and crew to turn their videos on so we can all talk a little bit. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We're going to have a little talk back for a few minutes and see how you enjoyed the show, or if you have any questions. So feel free to put it in the chat. Jim, are you monitoring that?
I do have the chat up. Yes, I've got it going now.
Great. So I wanted to start off with a question of my own. So, Rob, this, first of all, I too love this one act. It's one of my all-time favorites of everything you've ever written. And I so enjoyed directing it at Old Academy Players a few years back, which was my foray into directing at Old Academy Players, and I loved it. What did you have to do, and what was it like to adapt it from a stage play to a radio play?
So luckily, this wasn't my first time adapting from stage to radio, because I did that with Vernal Wright's Priceless. So it's been a minute since I've done that, and there were things that I had to add into the dialogue, like the building of the House of Cards, because all we have is that photo from the 2018 production. So there were things that I had to adjust where there couldn't be a suitable sound cue and we couldn't see it. So I made sure, like climbing up on the bar, we couldn't see that, so I had to build it into the dialogue. So there were just a few little tweaks to get it radio ready.
I thought you did a really good job. And I really love the fact that you used all the photos from that 2018 production. That looked really great.
And I was very hesitant about using them because they're not the sharpest images, but I also liked the slightly hazy image, the softer lighting of it, to give that dreamlike sort of very Southern quality to it.
Yep. I thought that was really good. And the ladies, you have not lost any of your Southern charm. So you both sounded really great. Did you guys enjoy putting this together?
Absolutely.
Good.
Yeah.
I wished it was longer. I told Rob, can't you add more to it?
Yeah, you had said, yeah, that's cute. So I also wanted to talk a little bit about, doing a radio play or doing something live like this, this like kind of, voiceover work is kind of different than doing stage acting. And I was just interested to know from Tori, from your perspective, you're a new graduate from Muhlenberg, and how different is it for you to do a radio show versus acting on stage?
It's definitely a very different experience. There's definitely a learning curve for sure. I like to think of it as almost a blessing in disguise that I was one of the very lucky few who had their undergraduate career interrupted by COVID. A lot of my college courses, especially during that time, were primarily acting based. And so the transition was really harsh, but a lot of the presence work that we were doing, it transitioned into the realm of Zoom. And I feel like that definitely was a great way for me to get my feet wet for a radio show of this capacity.
Yeah, that's a good point. Good point. And Jillian, you've done this a bunch of times with us. Was it nice to do it again? It's been a while since we've actually put on a production. And I know you've been really busy the past few years. So what was it like to get back into it?
Oh, it's incredible. I enjoy performing so much, and I miss it when I'm not able to because of schedules and various things. So it's even more special to come back and do a role that you've done before.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate the opportunity. I really thank everyone for being asked to do it again.
Yeah. Well, we wanted to celebrate the fact that Rob had this one act published. So Rob, tell us a little bit about where it was published and how we can find it.
So Hominum Journal, which if you check our social media, I always tag them in our posts. So it's Hominum with an H, Hominum Journal, and they're an online arts publication, and they publish several online versions a year, and it's various genres of literature. And I saw online they were looking for dramas as well, like short plays. So because I love the story, and it does have a very beginning, middle, and an end, very much like a country music song where you get the last line of the play is like, it sort of hits you that, oh, it's mom and daughter.
Yeah, that's right.
So I submitted it to them, and I got this email one day very randomly. I was on the train home from work, and I thought it was another rejection email. And they're, because they started out, we loved reading it. It was so great. Thank you for trusting it with us. We'd like to publish it. I'm like, oh my God. And of course, I'm in the quiet car, so I can't yell.
Yeah.
So, but for me, it's my most produced one act so far to date. There was a 2017 production in Bucks County, the one that you directed in Philadelphia with the ladies. Montgomery County Community College Pottstown campus did a one act festival last spring, and it was the first show in that festival. And then now R5 has a radio version of it.
Awesome. So Jim, from a technical perspective, what was there any challenges with this one? I mean,
yes.
Let me just preface by saying that it's been a while since we have done an R5 production, and there's been a lot of updates to not only YouTube, but to Zoom. So it took me a minute to figure things out again. It wasn't quite the same. So anyway, sorry to interrupt.
No, Nancy, exactly what you said. When we first started R5 and started producing these shows, I remember the first one that we did with the Time Machine, H.G. Wells' The Time Machine. I created all kinds of elaborate background noise, sound effects to really put the characters in the scene so you could hear where they were walking. Well, at that time, the sound effects would cut out the actor, or the actor would cut out the sound effects, because that's how Zoom was built at that time. The pandemic hit, those companies, including Zoom, really upped their game. So we found out later, wait a minute, we can now actually run background sound effects and it wouldn't cut each other off, which was great.
Yeah.
So as we were getting ready to do this one, here I go back to the same old, way that we did it before. Well, now Zoom has changed their interface again. So you sharing audio is a completely different way.
Yep.
So that's why it's good to have rehearsals. We were able to figure out how to get the sound going through the system again.
Yep.
But it's ever evolving, and we have to evolve with it.
Yeah. Oh, good. Okay. All right. Do we have any questions?
So we don't have any questions, but we do have some comments on there. Joe Swan was saying the images looked great. It brought you into the scene. Caitlin Riley said, loved it. Y'all so fun.
Good.
Caitlin Swan, amazing job. And so we have Swans calling in from Maryland and different parts of Maryland there. And we have Eric watching from Los Angeles, California. So it's a little early for him, but it's good to have everybody back in there making comments. If you have any questions, please just type them in the chat and I'll be able to read them to everybody.
Sounds great. So anything else we want to talk about? Anybody
I think this is a good segue for us to talk about the next steps with R5. So as I had said before, in my intro, we did a combination in our first season of original work of mine as well as established plays. Then as we progressed down the road, we had Broken Hollow Banshee, which was a 5-part, which was specifically written for R5. Then we did a one-act festival known as, we called it the R5 Playhouse series. So those were 4 or 5, that was 4 original one-acts that we got from playwrights around the country. We did Edgar Allan Poe, we did The Great Gatsby, we did Cold Stun, another one of my plays. So there was, as Nancy noted, about a year that we didn't do anything, but we kept trying to figure out how do we change R5 to keep up with what was happening, because now people can go back and see shows, out in the theaters.
Yeah.
So we met right around the time I found out that Honky Tonk Queen was getting published, and we decided that R5 was going to shift its focus. So rather than do a combination of original work and established work, we were now going to focus exclusively on original work, because as a playwright, the process to get a play up and running, there are certain steps that you need to do, because once you've written it, you then need to hear it. And traditionally, in days of old, you would have readings, staged readings with invited audiences. You would then do maybe a workshop in some instances, or you would go to production. And all along the way, the playwright gets the chance to rewrite, edit, listen to it, hear different actors do it in some instances. And so we decided that because staged readings are a hard sell even before the pandemic to get people to go to, we want to use R5 as a vehicle, as a platform for playwrights to be able to hear their work sometimes for the first time. in front of an audience. Now it's a little bit more of an enhanced experience because it's not just a couple actors sitting with music stands and scripts. This is a little more performance. There's sound, there's visuals. So it's a little bit of a heightened experience. Plus, when you have a staged reading, unless you record it, there's no record of it. Whereas with R5, we record all of our shows onto YouTube. So if you go to our YouTube channel, you'll get to see our entire catalog going back to July of 2020 and the Time Machine.
Right.
So that's something we wanted to announce. And Nancy, do you want to talk about what's coming up next?
Yes. In October, we are going to launch the another Playhouse series of 3 one-acts, and the theme is Haunted. And a while ago, we had asked for submissions with the theme of Haunted to, all various, playwrights in all the different submission sites, and we got a very great turnout. And Jim and Rob and I went through them all, and we selected 3. I feel like it's 3, right?
It is 3. Yes.
It is 3. For a second, I'm like, maybe it was 4. No, it definitely is 3.
It was 3.
So anyway, we are going to debut that in October, right before Halloween, if I'm not mistaken. So stay tuned for more information about that. We'll be sending out an email blast and putting out information on social media about it. But it's going to be a lot of fun because the 3 plays run somewhere between 20 and 30 minutes. So it's a nice, it's a nice length. And all of them deal with the theme of haunted. So maybe somebody is haunted by, a past, maybe somebody is haunted by a spirit and things like that. So I think you're going to really like it. I know that the playwrights are very anxious for other people to hear them. So we're going to start working on that probably in September and then launch it in October.
And I would encourage people that if you know people that didn't get a chance to listen to it live tonight, this will live on our YouTube channel. You can click the link that you used to get to this tonight, and you will be able to hear the recording from tonight's performance. It's, I think, our 14th show that we've done with R5, and it's to celebrate our 4th anniversary.
Yeah.
So I've had the privilege of working with Tori live on stage. Jillian, I've had the privilege of doing radio shows here on R5. I've worked with Nancy and Jim since the beginning in 2020. So it's been a really great journey thus far to see R5 survive and grow. And, we learned a lot during the pandemic about ourselves, about the art of performance. And I think it's a great story to tell about how this theater company came out of a very dark time. And we continue to be artists, during it. So from the bottom of my heart, it meant a lot to revisit the Honky Tonk Queen with the Honky Tonk Queens from a few years back.
That's
and
great.
To be able to share this, I think with some people that, didn't get a chance to see the other productions. So I'm really proud of that as well.
As you should be. So it's been great. Well, listen, with that, I think we're going to close out the session tonight. And I want to thank everybody who listened in. And for those of you that listened to it on a playback, thank you so much for your time. And we really appreciate all the subscribers, which, by the way, we have like 375 subscribers, folks. I'm pretty proud of that. So anyway.
Oh, yeah, get out there and share it. And your friends, let's build that up. This makes a great podcast. You can listen to it anywhere. So.
Okay, everybody, have a great night. Thank you for joining.
Great. Thank you.
Okay. The stream has ended.